Joplin's job market is getting a boost. We'll tell you about the new companies arriving in town. An Oklahoma lawmaker thinks he's found the missing link to bringing tourists to the Sooner State.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
President Biden wants to overhaul the nation's coronavirus vaccine effort. Above all, that includes increasing the available supply both now and in the coming weeks and months. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
More doses, more coordination. President Biden is setting ambitious new goals for tackling the coronavirus pandemic.
This is a wartime effort.
The administration says it will begin shipping 10 million vaccine doses to states next week, up from the current average of just over 8.5 million.
We will both increase the supply in the short term by more than 15% and give our states and local partners more certainty about when the deliveries will arrive.
Flanked by his COVID-19 coordinator, the president also promised increased transparency with state and local partners, so they'll have a 3-week forecast of what's available.
Until now, we've had to guess how much vaccine to expect for the next week, and that's what the governors had to do. How much am I getting next week? This is unacceptable.
In his remarks, President Biden did not repeat a statement he made Monday when he said he believed by spring anyone who wants a vaccine could get one.
The brutal truth is, it's going to take months before we can get the majority of Americans vaccinated. Months.
The White House plans to buy another 200 million doses from Moderna and Pfizer. That would bring the U.S. supply up to 600 million, enough to immunize 300 million people. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
To date, the coronavirus has claimed more than 425,000 lives in the U.S. That's out of a global total of more than 2.1 million COVID-19 deaths. The Crawford County, Kansas Health Department establishes a vaccine connection with the community. The county has created a vaccine registration hotline. Right now, it's open to those 65 and older who want to receive a COVID-19 vaccine. You call in, provide the operator with your name, date of birth, and phone number, and they'll help register you to get a shot. Officials do want to remind folks the vaccine supply is limited, so expect a wait of at least 2 to 6 weeks. Doug Hetty joins us now with the first look at the weather. Been another kind of gray day out there, Doug.
Yeah, it definitely has, and it looks like we're going to stay gray through the overnight hours tonight and a good chunk for tomorrow as well. Cold day for us today. Actually, our high of 41, that was at midnight, so most of the day we sat near freezing, but now we have the clouds that are going to produce a little bit of light snow. There's not much out there yet, but it will start to increase as this storm system heads toward us, and you can see it developing south of Oklahoma City, and that is going to be the band that affects us later on tonight. Now, it's going to be very light. Here's midnight. You can start to see it picking up, but it's going to be enough with temperatures into the 20s and no sunshine that we will get some light accumulation. So here's 2 a.m., some light snow across the region, picks up a little bit 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Again, this isn't going to be anything extremely heavy, but we will get some light accumulation. So we're going to look at this and what's to come, all coming up here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. Thanks, Doc. Joplin's about to see an influx in the job market. Amazon Logistics is currently hiring for a new last-mile distribution center that's being built in Joplin. The company plans to hire between 300 and 400 people, all part-time, starting at $15 an hour. But that's not the only employer bringing jobs to the area. An ammunitions plant is currently under construction in the Joplin Industrial Park. Casey's is building a distribution center. KCU's dental school will bring more than 200 positions, and manufacturing expansions will add more than 100.
Altogether, we're looking at about a 600, 700, 800 job count. All coming in at the same time.
It's an exciting time for Joplin that, we are getting to that point where major industries and businesses are interested in relocating to our area.
The Missouri Job Center is currently holding a virtual job fair that includes Amazon positions. We've put links to that on this story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. State of Kansas has a new program aimed at reducing the number of mentally ill people in jail. Governor Laura Kelly announced today the state's adopting a national program called Stepping Up. The program creates a technical assistance center. That center provides county officials with information to help guide policy and create programs that improve outcomes for people with mental illnesses and substance use disorders in jails. One bill in the Missouri Senate could make sports betting along with video slot machines legal in the state. Representatives from slot machine companies and professional sports teams came out to support the bill. However, not everyone was on board. Mike Winter, a representative from the Missouri Gaming Association, an organization made up of the 13 casinos in Missouri, says that while the businesses support sports gambling, they oppose the legalization of video slot machines that would allow an array of businesses to participate in gambling. He says it would hurt the economies where casinos exist and expand the availability of gambling past what Missouri voters want. Supporters say Missouri would see benefits in the form of jobs and tax revenue that would outweigh the potential costs to casinos. A Missouri senator wants to grant immunity to people who run over protesters blocking traffic. It's one of several proposals across the country in response to protests last summer over the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis police custody. That included protests in St. Louis that blocked traffic on busy roads. The legislation says it provides that a person may use deadly force against another person if such force is used against a person who is participating in an unlawful assembly. Opponents argue the bill would vilify nonviolent protesters and criminalize the same protest methods that helped take down Jim Crow laws and segregation. An Oklahoma lawmaker proposes a Bigfoot hunting season for the state. KOAM's Bronte Sorosky looks at how some folks in Ottawa County, Oklahoma feel about the possibility of a new hunting season.
State Representative Justin Humphrey just filed legislation to establish an official Bigfoot hunting season in Oklahoma. His biggest reason? Tourism. Humphrey says the town of Honaby already has an annual Bigfoot festival in October, so the hunting season would be around that time. Dispensary owner Jennifer Andre says while Bigfoot might be a myth, it would help the state track down money.
Of course, nobody knows exactly if Bigfoot's real or not, but it'd be super cool if we get people out there to find out for us. I think it would be awesome.
If passed, the bill would establish dates and require hunters to get a license. The law would allow hunters to trap Bigfoot and offer $25,000 to the first person to capture the creature. Ottawa County Sheriff David Dean says those searching for Sasquatch would need to do it safely.
Make sure that you're where you're supposed to be. Make sure that you're not trespassing. Don't shoot Bigfoot from the road because road hunting's illegal in Oklahoma. So just being safe and no drinking and shooting Bigfoot.
I think it would be a fun thing. Hopefully it's not abused and people don't kind of, abuse that. And start, going after what's actually not Bigfoot.
If passed, the first Bigfoot hunting season could come as early as this year. In Ottawa County, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Yes, the sheriff says don't shoot Bigfoot from the road. The Oklahoma legislature goes back into session on February 1st. Still ahead, coronavirus cases in the U.S. are hitting a plateau, but experts fear that could change as several mutant strains of the virus gain a foothold in our country. And later, the Pittsburgh wrestling team welcomes in Wichita North in the Purple Dragons' first home duel of the season. COVID-19 cases are now plateauing across most of the U.S., but with new variants of the virus out there, vaccine makers are scrambling to make sure those who get the shots remain protected. Mandy Gaither has more.
As states are giving out more vaccinations, rates of new COVID-19 cases are trending down across the country, but variants of the virus are causing concern.
The sobering news is that we cannot bring our guard up and lose the intensity of being able to use the public health measures to prevent the further spread. If the variant that has greater degree of transmissibility becomes dominant, we're going to be faced with another challenge of a virus that has a more efficient capability of spreading.
Moderna now says its COVID-19 vaccine created antibodies that neutralize the coronavirus variants first found in the United Kingdom and now circulating in the U.S., and another variant first identified in South Africa but not yet detected in the U.S. However, there are concerns that the vaccine may have a somewhat decreased efficacy against that strain spotted in South Africa. Because of that, Moderna is working on a booster aimed at fighting it. As for the drop in current COVID-19 cases, experts say it doesn't appear to be related to the vaccine.
I don't think the dynamics of what we're seeing now with the plateauing is significantly influenced yet. It will be soon, but yet by the vaccine. I just think it's the natural course of plateauing.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Johnson & Johnson could share its phase 3 coronavirus vaccine data as early as this week. One of the vaccine's developers says it's being tested in South Africa, the U.S., and Brazil, and results might provide insights into how well it works against emerging new variants. Doug Heddy is up next with his complete forecast. And later, a state line battle in Joplin as the Lady Eagles welcome into Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. We'll have the highlights in sports.
Well, it definitely turned out to be another gloomy day for us today. Of course, yesterday, Sunday night into Monday morning, we had the showers, we had the thunderstorms, about an inch and a half of rain, and then just kind of drizzle all day yesterday. The clouds stuck last night. We had fog, and then the clouds stuck around today with the colder temperatures as we really kind of sat into the mid-30s all day long, which is very evident. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. This is our live tower cam time-lapsing for you throughout the daytime hours. All right, it's getting cold. We're into the upper 20s, most of us, and then once you get south of I-44, you jump freezing or just above. But everybody's going to drop back into the upper 20s as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Still have the clouds. Not a lot underneath the clouds. We are getting some random little flurries out there, but this will increase as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Now, this is not a big storm system by any means, but it will give us some light snow, some light accumulations as we go into the early morning hours. Here's the storm system. The upper level system is actually decently impressive. The problem is, remember system number 1 that gave us all the rain that is now across the eastern seaboard? It kind of took all the moisture away from this second storm system. So we just don't get a lot of moisture, but you can see it increasing south of Oklahoma City along the I-35 corridor between Oklahoma City and Dallas. It's that band that will kind of increase through the region as we go through the overnight hours. Just some random flurries out there on the Kansas side, just north of Nevada, and that is it at this point in time. All right, let's go through the overnight hours. Here's midnight. You can see the light snow starting to increase. Notice the temperatures. Also, it's dark. So we don't have the sunshine, which kind of helps melt snow on impact. So that's gone, and we're below freezing. So that means anything that does fall will stick. So even just a dusting can make the roads a little slippery outside late tonight into the morning hours. Let's go through time. Let's go to 2 a.m. Look how the light snow expands. And you see some darker blues. So that's picking up at least a little heavier bands. When you get the darker blues, that's showing us where we could get some light accumulations. Then let's go to 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It intensifies a little bit, especially along the I-30 or the I-44 corridor and the I-49 corridor. That's where the snow is going to pick up in intensity just a bit. Let's go to 6 a.m. The Kansas and the Oklahoma side drying out, but still some light snow in southwestern Missouri. Then I think by 7 or 8, most of this is gone, but we are going to have some leftover flurries behind. All right, snowfall amounts, they're not going to be much. On the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, probably about a ½ inch. Once you get, and maybe upwards to an inch in spots. On the Missouri side, I think most of us are going to be near 1 inch of snow, which isn't a big storm, but again, with temperatures below freezing, we're going to get some slick spots. A little bit of sunshine late tomorrow, but it stays cold. 28 to start, 31 by noon, high temp of only 33, and then with a little bit of snow on the ground tomorrow night, we clear out, we'll drop all the way down near 20. So it's going to be a cold night, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. High of only 33 tomorrow. Again, be careful on the roads early. But look at this. By Friday, we're back to 58 degrees.
So any bit of snow out there won't be around for long, I guess.
No, not at all. About 12 hours.
All right. Thanks, Doug. A special moment captured on camera at the playground of the Chanute, Kansas Elementary School. Chanute firefighters with sirens on drive into the school's parking lot. Then one of them, Cameron, makes his way to the playground. Cameron's girlfriend, Cindy, is a teacher at the school and was with her students at recess. Cameron walks up to Cindy, and to the cheers of Cindy's students, Cameron proposes. Cindy, of course, said yes.
It means a lot because everyone knows the times we're going through, and it's just so difficult to do anything to include a lot of people. And so, I mean, it just feels crazy that everyone came together like that, and made it doable to do.
Firefighters and teachers, a couple of our heroes. Fire crews this week have been working on the school's fire system, and Cameron had been working overnights. The proposal was a surprise to Cindy. Congratulations. Coming up in sports, the Pittsburgh girls hit the road for a border battle against Joplin. Plus, it's rivalry night for Colgan and Frontenac. Jacob Leonard up next with details.
The Pittsburgh girls have been one of the hottest teams in southeast Kansas to begin the basketball season. Now tonight, the Purple Dragons cross the state line into Missouri, aiming to stay rolling. Sports reporter Danny Terzer has more.
We've got a border battle here at Joplin High School tonight. The Eagles host the 7-1 Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. Pittsburgh is freshly ranked at number 8 in the state by KBCA. Joplin plays Pittsburgh close through the first quarter. Here's Bryn Driver driving to the net. She grabs 2 plus a free throw to put the Eagles within 1 after 1. Second quarter, Madden Petty with a corner 3. She's heating up. 24 points in this one. Pittsburgh grabs a big lead in the third. Jacqueline Hall with a few of her own. Joplin closes in, but Pittsburgh is able to finish this one off 53-50.
Luckily, we had built a big enough lead that we were able to kind of cover up some of the mistakes we made late.
One shot after another, it just gets me more excited. So the more we're doing good, the more we're getting excited. It hypes me up more, and then it makes me want to hype them up more.
Pittsburgh's win tonight lifts them to 8-1 on the season. They'll return to the floor on Friday to take on Field Kindley. At Joplin High School, Danny Terzer, KOAM Sports.
We got a big one tonight for the Joplin boys on the road against third-ranked Kickapoo. Joplin falls in this one 89-69. Eagles are back in action on Thursday with another big one on the road against East Newton. Well, tonight is rivalry night for Frontenac and Colgan. The two teams hit the floor for a CNC matchup tonight in Pittsburgh. And we'll start with the girls. Colgan is 8-1 to start the season, coming off their first loss to Galena over the weekend. First quarter, Caitlin Crossland going baseline. She gets the reverse to go. Colgan up 2 early. Frontenac responds on the other end. Sydney Frankenberry from the far side. Raiders up 1. Into the first, the pass to Lauren Yagmour. She knocks down the triple. Panthers up 14-13 after the first quarter. Moving on to the second quarter now, Heather Arnett gets the rebound, and check it out. She's going coast to coast for the bucket. Raiders, though, still trailing by 2. Later in the quarter, Hattie Pyle works it out to the wing. She just pulls up, knocks it down. 16 tonight for Pyle. To the third, back to Arnett in the corner. Stop and shoot 3 here. Raiders up 9. Frontenac pulls away for the win tonight, 54-41. In the nightcap, Frontenac aims to get to 3-0 against CNC teams facing the rival Panthers. First quarter, Nick Eisen goes through the defense. Panthers up 6-2 early. And look at this, Colin McCartney into Jordan Fudge. Gets up and puts it down. Raiders, though, down 4 at that point. Later on in the quarter, Jalen Van Beesler dropping it in from the left side. At that point, Panthers up by 9. But here come the Raiders. Off the inbound, Fudge getting up and rocking the rim again. Frontenac within 4. Raiders come back to stay perfect in the league, 50-48. The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons have a 9-5 dual record this wrestling season. And they've been wrestling since the first week of December, but tonight is their first home duel on their schedule. That's a big one for Pittsburgh. They host 6A Wichita North this evening. The Dragons dropped the first couple of matches. Here at 170 pounds, Christian Hutchinson gets him rolled over, wins by fall over Cruz Alvarado in the first period. Next match at 195, Caden Barber just a strong dude. Barber wins by a fall in the first period, and that trend continued. Heavyweight time here. Caleb Red walking it around. He finishes his match in the first period. Pittsburgh beats Wichita North 54-19. It's the Dragons' 10th dual win of the year.
This is our home opener this late in the season. It's good. In wrestling, we don't have as many home meets as we'd like. I'm going to try to change that next year, but definitely feels good to get back at home and have a competition. Our guys are definitely gaining confidence as we're going through the season. As we push towards end of season, postseason stuff, we're moving in the right direction.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after the break.
Take time now to honor a local veteran, Corporal Greg Beckner. The Goodman, Missouri native served in the U.S. Army, and we are proud to salute Corporal Greg Beckner. He's tonight's four-state hero. If an adult animal is larger than a school bus, how big are the newborns? Well, researchers in Scotland tried to answer that question by looking into fossilized T-Rex embryos. The fearsome dinosaur could grow as long as 40 feet, but after looking at the embryos, the scientists at the University of Edinburgh concluded T-Rex hatchlings were about as big as a mid-sized dog. Oh yeah, they're cute when they're young. Let's check in with Doug Hetty.
Hey, Dow. Well, we're going to have the light snow showers for us tonight, really picking up after midnight. Again, not a lot, but our temperatures are in the 20s, and we don't have the sunshine, so of course we are going to get some slick spots out there, so be careful if you are going to be on the roadways. Most of us about a half an inch to an inch, but enough to cause some issues. A few morning snow showers, a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon, high temp, cold at 33.
See you tomorrow. Let's take care of ourselves and each other.